I call Mayor Ellis.
Like many of my colleagues here, this year's National Apprenticeship Week has really brought to light for me the amazing work being done by businesses, organisations and students across my constituency in Ribble Valley. Just listening to a lot of the comments today across the House about how we need to sort of improve the culture and perception around technical education, I'm minded to reflect on experience I had when I was in Year 9 and getting quite high results in my electronics exams. And I had an amazing teacher, Miss Robinson, who asked me one day if I'd considered doing a BTEC in engineering. Now, I didn't end up following that route, but I do wonder what our productivity would be like today if our culture and our kind of, promotion of that kind of technical route, particularly for people who were very academic, was more around back in the day, and where our productivity might be today if we kind of promoted that more back then. I'm really excited at the prospect of this bill laying the groundwork for the new body Skills England to realise our ambitious missions for growth and opportunity. I think one of the best commitments in this government's manifesto was actually to link immigration and skills policy in an effort to tackle the UK's reliance on international recruitment. Indeed, in a panel I was on with fellow candidates in Lancashire during the general election campaign, a fellow candidate standing for reform actually remarked after I explained the commitment that actually he really liked that idea. So I'll be interested to see if his colleagues agree today. Skills England will work closely with the Migration Advisory Committee and the Industrial Strategy Council to develop an evidence-based approach to the labour market, which the committee set to monitor sectors where skills shortages are leading to increases in overseas recruitment. Importantly, this will mean sectors reliant on overseas workers will be focused on to ensure that they are addressing their failure to invest in skills in the UK. To support British workers the best we can, it's promising to hear that international recruitment won't be the standard choice for employers filling skill shortages. While migration can play a strategic role in supporting our economy, it must not be utilised as a means to address skills or training shortages in the UK over supporting British workers here. Just in general, we're far too familiar now with pressing skills gaps negatively affecting our economy. 20% of our UK workforce could be significantly underskilled for their jobs by 2030, and 1.5 million jobs in England are at risk of at least some of their tasks being automated in the future. But there are businesses and organisations leading the charge in tackling this. In my previous life away from this place, I was privileged to work alongside the Lancashire Skills Hub and the Lancashire Digital Skills Partnership, who have long been pioneers for developing our skills landscape in this country. And I'd like to put on record my thanks to Michelle Lawty-Jones and Kerry Harrison, who lead those services, piloting programmes like the Skills Boot Camps, which they made such a success of in Lancashire that the previous government rolled them out nationally. Their hard work also secured the Lancashire and Cumbria Institute of Technology, which I was delighted to get to visit last week at their base in Preston College in my constituency. The principal, Simon Nixon, and many of the students spoke to me about the technical training they'd received in areas such as health and social care, construction, counselling and engineering. Vitally, Preston College collaborates closely with industry experts and businesses to ensure its curriculum is up to date and reflects the needs of the economy, and is working with around 950 employers who help design the curriculum, support assessments, offer mentoring and industry placements for its IoT students. A great example of this is their work with Leyland Trucks, who reported a need for electric vehicle training for its apprentices, so the college embedded a new module into its Institute of Technology course. One key need the college meets is providing increased opportunities for adult education, and the upcoming devolution deal in Lancashire will undoubtedly allow organisations to have increased say in adult education budgets so they can boost local productivity and foster the right opportunities for the North West. However, they do have a concern, the college, around the reported reduction in adult skills budgets by around 2 to 3%. For colleges that have little adult work or where they have struggled to deliver against contract, this might be less of a problem. But for Preston College, in my constituency, they get around 20% of their income from adult provision and have been able to over-deliver for the last few years. Any reduction that was simply applied across the board would hit Preston College's delivery, particularly in key areas like construction and ESOL, and is likely to add further to cost pressures already being felt. While we're undoubtedly under severe financial pressures at the moment, we need to be careful that short-term savings don't impact the long-term skills development we desperately need to lead us to a better financial outlook in future. So I welcome the Minister's comments on that. What really blew me away at Preston College, though, was the feel of the place. It felt inspiring, modern, a place to really grow, and I heard from students who'd had more negative experiences elsewhere but felt truly at home here. That's what government investment can do for the well-being of areas in need of growth, and that's the opportunity we have with this bill. BAE is another business operating within my constituency, offering fantastic training and skills opportunities, particularly through apprenticeships. What really moved me on my visit recently, which I was delighted the Minister for Skills, Baroness Smith, was able to join me on, was that one young person who had tried a few times to get a role at BAE Systems, and because of the multitude of inclusive routes that BAE provide for young people to end up on one of their apprenticeships, he eventually found a route in that allowed his strengths and potential to shine and allow him to secure a role. I know from having worked in economic development in Lancashire in the past that many of the local SMEs in the area have benefited previously from BAE Systems overtraining on their apprenticeship programmes, so that there is a supply of apprentices who can flow into the surrounding SME chain. As many people have noted here today, one of the big challenges we have is how we support SMEs to support apprenticeships when they may only need one or two. The route that BAE went down came from targeted government funding, and I would welcome this government considering something similar. BAE had the training infrastructure to provide this support much more efficiently than most SMEs would do trying to do it themselves. So we should maximise our productivity in how we train people by making the most of the successful structures we already have. I'm also just delighted to say that almost half of people starting apprenticeships in Ribble Valley in the past year were aged over 25, showing that people within my constituency are ambitious and committed to lifelong learning. I fully support this bill, and I can't wait to see Skills England established to support those looking to improve their skills by bringing about a more data-driven and joined-up skills system for all of us. Thank you.